Welcome to Mediumship Moments with psychic medium Kym Durham. Join her as she shares her personal journey with mediumship, connects with your loved ones, and discusses topics dealing with spirituality.
I'm Kym Durham. I'm your host of Mediumship Moments, and I am a second-gen psychic medium, paranormal investigator, and here is the third generation. Hi guys, it's Aubrey. And we are here for part 2 of Gettysburg. Ooh. Gettysburg was amazing, and it's so much information. We had to do it in 2 parts. We had to do it in 2 parts. So we're now going to talk about our Saturday evening, a little bit of Sunday morning of the trip. If you want to listen to some amazing things that happened to us on Friday and Friday night, go to part 1. Go to part 1. But so it is now Saturday morning, and we're headed to the battlefield. So let me talk to you about the battlefield. Yes, I have notes because there was so much going on. It was incredible. So the battlefield of Gettysburg, it happened over 3 days, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It was just a bloodiest battle. 1863, turning point of the Civil War. And for over 1 million people visit the Gettysburg National Historic or the battlefield. Over 7,000 people were killed. And think about it, July 3rd, the bodies were left. There were some people that were paid, farmers locally, $1 a body, and then they ran out of funds. And part of the proclamation that Gettysburg was made into a battlefield is because in October of that year, Gettysburg Address happened. And prior to that, money was set aside and they were dug up from the trenches.
Yeah, they had to do mass burial graves because of the stench. Stench was, you think about July.
I think about 7,000 people in 1 square mile dead.
In fact, Gettysburg was the reason why now soldiers today have dog tags.
Yes.
Because to identify soldiers, because it was so hard. There was widows popping up at every.
They were actually digging up graves to find their husbands.
Yes.
And so watching this unfold, the awfulness of what happened over those 3 days, what an imprint of energy in this place.
Soldiers who are still not identified to this day.
Yes, it's that were known as the unknown soldiers and buried. I am a firm believer that anybody that takes that oath, wears that uniform, and fights for my right to have freedom of speech and all the other rights that I enjoy, they need to be respected, whether they wore Confederate or the Union uniform. So
we have brothers fighting brothers.
Yes, the stories that we heard. Just an amazing place. Just so much activity. We're definitely going to go back again. But let's talk about our Saturday. Right? Saturday was all about the battlefield.
Yes, and timing, because we thought it was going to rain. So
we were hustling.
We got up early.
Yeah.
And we headed to Devilstead, which you had a personal experience.
I was under I quick little tour. My wife took me there begrudgingly because she realizes what happens, and we did a little tour. We did the CD in the car driving tour, get to Devilstead, and at the time you could park up top. They've taken away that parking lot, and that's part of the changes of reverting the battlefield back to its natural state.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out and I walked around the big boulders. I'm going to the big boulders again. Did not do a lot of studying then, and walked down amongst these boulders, and I was grabbed by a little boy who was in a drummer's uniform, and I could smell the blood like an operating room. It'd be so graphic, and that little boy wanted to tell his mama that he loved her. Her name was Sarah, and I remember seeing him, and if I remember rightly, the little bit of research I did, 4 drummer boys were killed in that battle. So, and remember, they used drums and bugles to have troop movement. So that's what they were hearing, and that's when the troops knew when to charge, when to retreat, and things of that nature. So huge experience at Devil's Den. So Aubrey and I head out and we have our paranormal investigation. We're doing it. The first part was Devil's Den.
Yes.
We wanted to hit as much as we could before the impending race.
Yeah, timing that out was interesting.
Yeah, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. Ready to go.
And equipment and rain do not mix. So
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
trying to get as much as we could done.
So we go up to Devil's Den, and you can see in the distance from Devil's Den, Little Round Top. Okay, another historic site because of its strategic placement.
Yeah.
Of of height, and so we're walking amongst the boulders. I'm reliving what happened to me. Whew.
First time there for me. So
Yeah.
enjoying the scene.
And we sat down and we did a little shoot with Red Pod.
Red Pond was a little harder because it was a little windier.
Which it gets
testing. We're still working out.
Red Pods are better inside.
We learned that.
Yeah.
So the obelisk again came out tried and true. We also used the spirit box there.
We did, and we also used the floor. Now the floor is a thermal camera. A lot of HVAC people know what they look at it for leaks for your air conditioning and things of that nature. And speaking of which, we left that on for taping, so hopefully that doesn't. Oops. Hope you can hear over that. But I was looking along the tree lines because it's been reported that you will see troops banding through the troop line. Either that or guns or things like that. So instead, there was like 1,400 people killed there. It was a sharpshooter position, or the people from Round Top were shooting down, so they were hiding in between these boulders. I felt a heaviness there.
Yeah, there was definitely a heaviness.
But I can't say, over the obvious, what did we get? Much? Not much.
Not much. There was a couple words here or there. Shot. There was
which
shot.
was interesting.
That was the word when we get
yes.
shot.
I don't. Which one was it? That time it said head.
Yes.
Yeah, it said shot. Then it said head. There were things that came up like buried.
That was number one.
Yeah, and so there was something communicating with us and manipulating the obelisk. We were there for about an hour. We did not walk up to Little Round Top. Should we have? Again,
we got a little lost. We started driving around.
Well, listen, what happens is that when you're driving, a portion of this becomes the can't turn around, have to go one way.
Yes.
So call it poor planning on our part. From there, we headed to, we did the wheat field. They just talked about the wheat field being a bloodbath. There was over 1,400 troops killed there. And quite literally, it was just stained red. We take pictures. And again, we are out there with our spirit box. We're out there with the obelisk. We're walking around. We stayed where we're supposed to. We're out of respect again. But we did pick up a mist.
Yeah.
There's a figure.
It's very faint.
Yes.
But there's clearly
something that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's cool.
In the wheat field. And we're going to post that on Paranormal on Instagram. Then from there, we head to the tower.
So as we're driving around trying to figure out how to get to another location, we start driving up some roads in the forest, and we're, there's so many statues of what battalion, who was where and when, and Confederate and Union. We ended up on the Confederate side. And we started this roundabout area, and then I see the tower, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's the tower that I was talking about. So we got out and we did a little investigation there. I did not go up the tower because it looks a lot bigger now, even more so.
It was raining at that point,
and I was like, we have somewhere to be tonight. And I'm really...
We actually had a late night investigation, so we were trying to do as much as we could.
Sleep during this true.
This is true because we were up late Friday night.
Yep.
So it was part of you reliving something that happened to you when you were 8 years of age.
It was confirmation too.
Yeah,
I didn't I was like, oh, was there a tower? I did have a moment of, was there? And sure enough, I found one, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. So going through that, when we were in the car that we videotaped and we were outside of the wheat field, Do you remember the spirit box and the communication?
Vaguely.
And it was very sporadic.
Yes.
There was more talking, I believe, at Devil's Den than at the Wheatfield for us. But again, we were in the car. And, because of it, it was like, I'm going to say 45 degrees had pouring.
Yeah, it was cold. It got real cold.
So there was only so much we could
It
do.
was 75 the day before.
It was. It was kind of like, yep. What we planned for it, we packed for it, we as best as we could, right? It's good blankets in the car came in handy.
Yes.
But it truly reacquainting myself with the history,
Yeah.
the respect of what happened.
Just the general awe. Like I definitely didn't realize how you don't realize how big the battle was and where everyone was in this area. Like I guess I just never truly understood
the scope of it.
the scope of it.
Yeah.
And then you start driving through and you just see these monuments of where everybody was stationed, and I'm like, man, this was I can't imagine. I to be a soldier during that time.
And I agree with you, because I was just standing there and I was looking from my left to my right. And one of the things I remember is seeing things that were not from that time period.
Yeah.
When I visited 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And since then, they've really taken it to the point of where everywhere you look is battlefield.
Yeah.
So after we went through the battlefield, we went to the cemetery.
Yes. Fun fact, if you see a green cannon, like a cannon.
This is something we learned.
Something I learned. A green cannon, because of the tarnish of the metal, that's original. That is an original cannon from the battlefield. And there were a lot of them. So if you see a green
with
cannon,
its patina green.
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
that is indicative
because it has higher copper ore.
Yep.
Iron ore.
Iron. Yeah. So that's a real one. That's a real cannon. That's not fake. So that was interesting to learn.
It was. And when we headed over to the Gettysburg National Cemetery,
we also went to the wrong cemetery.
There's this little sign that says you can't get to the cemetery this way. Oops.
I followed Mom.
Oops.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't look right.
We were getting lots of
look right.
We're getting those steps.
So we circle back around and follow the students that were going the right way.
And head in. And
that was pretty cool to see, like the monument for Lincoln.
Yes.
And
the Gettysburg Address.
Yep. And
which was 300 yards from where it actually was, but it was a monument in respect of what happened.
Unnamed soldiers. That's where we were. We stopped, and you said the EVP.
Yeah, we sat down, and again, being very respectful, not breaking out the camera. I'm not doing all that, but I did have the little EMF reader, and it again has many light bulbs, and from green all the way to red.
Yeah.
The more bulbs that light up, the higher the electrical magnetic field, the EMF. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, just taking it like, is anybody with us? And kind of, just thinking about the soldiers, and wasn't recording at that point. And here goes the EMF off, and started to record that. Of course, it quieted down, but it was just to have a moment there to be amongst the soldiers, many of which were buried and were unknown, just to pay our respects for their sacrifice, right? Because it was a turning point.
Yeah.
We became, instead of a divided nation, a nation of one soon after the Gettysburg War, the battle. So from there, where did we head off Saturday afternoon?
Saturday afternoon, well, we still shopping.
We did.
We had a little girl time.
We did. We did a little.
It can't be all spooky, y'all. Yeah.
Right.
Went to a mercantile, got some coffee.
A little coffee. It's a cute little place.
Yeah, really cute.
Everybody is so nice in Gettysburg, and I know their economy's driven mainly from tourism, but they do it right there. They answer your questions. They're more than happy to help you. Tour center, great facility. You should check it out. That's new.
That's where they have the bus tours.
Yeah.
A lot of bus tours.
Trying to cross the road.
We went to the metaphysical shops too.
We did.
Yeah.
We're checking out our people.
Yeah.
Saying hi. They always had, and the paranormal investigators places, hey, have you tried this? Have you gone there?
Oh yeah. Everybody was very much like, you should try it here. Try this. Go here. if you can.
Yeah.
How long are you staying for?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
everybody was very sweet.
So we headed back to the Airbnb after our shopping.
Took a little nap.
Yeah, we recharge our battery because, like, we had three paranormal investigations in one trip that were tours away from what we were doing one-on-one.
Yeah.
So Saturday night,
Which we didn't think if we were going to be able to do or not.
we were very much on the fence because it was a pouring. And I was like, Aubrey, should we cancel? Should we cancel? And I'm like, you know what? Both of us were like, we're here. We've got raincoats.
You went.
We have umbrellas. Like,
Yeah.
fun fact, I forgot my sneakers. Had to go to Wally World to get a pair.
Yeah, we did a little shopping.
We did. Yeah. So
Things that we needed.
yeah. So we said, hey, we're doing it. So glad we did. Shout out to After Dark Investigations.
Carrie was our
Steve
and
Emma,
their daughter.
amazing. So Saturday night we meet.
Can I tell you, I was very happy. I was very excited for this tour, but I also was like, what are we expecting? Like I heard stories, I've seen it on Ghost Adventures and Hunters, and I was like, what are we doing? Now, I did not know that they were going to have all of their own equipment.
I had no idea.
That was fun. Yeah, they came.
They were breaking out everything
and loaded. I mean, they had cat balls, REM pods, spirit box,
Death Bell.
The death bell's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they came with a full stop. So our first stop was a playground.
Yeah.
That is actually right next to, parallel to the battlefield.
Yes.
And we started there first. So glad it didn't rain. It kind of stopped.
It was kind of weird.
A light drizzle in the beginning, but so we stayed under the pavilion, and Carrie's doing her whole intro, and very sweet, talking about what happens here and things like that. And like when you walk there, yes, it's a playground at night. It's a little spooky. However, just the feeling that you get.
It's I don't want to say like night and day, but like night and day.
And I learned a lot that first trip there.
So was Danielle and Daniel, or who were
so Daniel and Dylan.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Fabulous couple. And so it was just the four of us.
That was it, because other people had canceled.
They ditched because of the weather, and it was cold. It's 45 degrees and
rainy.
Yeah, it was good spooky weather. It was. So Carrie does her opening remarks, talks about what we could possibly experience.
Yes.
And Dylan and Danielle head off to the left.
Yeah, they went off on they were
traipsing through.
Like on fine.
And Aubrey and I take the path to the right.
And the whole time I could pick up body language. I'm more of an empath. And I could tell right away that you were not in it.
I was on the struggle bus.
You were scared.
What was
not scared, but uneasy.
Yes. I didn't want to take Aubrey, and we just started. I'm like, I'm not ditching. But so when we had in our hand the spirit box,
yep.
Do we have the floor? I had the IR camera.
Yeah, the IR camera, and we had the spirit box because that was the easiest to
It was
protect, because there was a little bit of a drift.
Mine, I had the Mel meter, which tells temperature, and but again, we had to keep things protected. So Aubrey I'm walking, and I can feel somebody. I feel a heaviness on my chest.
It was heavy. I could feel it too, but
heaviness on my chest, and somebody like right behind me.
And she kept looking behind her,
and I'm watching her six. For those soldiers out there, I'm watching our back because I feel somebody's following us. Like I could feel it, I could hear it, and I don't want to freak her out because we're just on the path.
But meanwhile, I could feel it the whole time, and I'm just like,
Mom, if you're not good, we could stop. And I said, no, let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
But she would not go far. I walking forward, and she kept hesitantly following.
Like there was just.
You just stopped and turned, and you kept doing that. And at one point I was like, oh, come on, like, let's keep going. Because I tend to.
Yes. She chases after them. She not so much. So we get down, and we went a little bit further, and this is what happens.
We stand there, and all of a sudden we hear cannon fire.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom.
Now,
like, clear as day.
It's a Saturday night in April, raining, 10 o'clock at night.
No reenactments.
Nothing.
Nothing going on.
Nothing.
Not like a football game with nothing.
And we were in a playground, and there was residential houses behind us. So it's not like,
They're across the street.
yeah, they're far away.
The battlefield is to our left.
And they have police patrol
Yes.
all the time. So we had special access. So they knew we were there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it's not everybody can just go to this playground.
It was just us.
We had special access.
So we hear the cannons go off. Aubrey has the spirit box on and asked the question.
I said, was that cannon fire?
And the next thing you heard in a southern accent was, sure was.
And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Thank you, soldier.
Thank you. That's exactly what she said.
I said, thank you, soldier.
I was blown away. Then I heard cannon.
Phantom cannon fire. If you've never experienced that.
And it wasn't just one.
No. And that was the thing, because you think with so much energy, that takes a lot of energy for a residual.
I was like blown away.
So that was not the first time. So now, mind you, that just happened. You're feeling a certain way and you're like,
I have such heaviness. I didn't know if I was getting killed or been shot, but I had such a heaviness on my chest. Somebody following me. The cannons are going off. Like, I feel like I'm in battle. Truly, I felt like I had to run for my life. It's like the best way I could describe that.
Yeah. So we head back to Lillian, where everybody met up.
Yeah.
And I just randomly said it. And I was like, so did anybody hear that cannon fire? And the that couple, Danielle and Della, were like, you heard that too?
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, and then Carrie, our guide, was like, oh yeah, like that happens.
Oh.
That happens a lot. And as we're standing there, sure enough, poof, poof, poof. And I was like, no way.
Like, oh,
No way.
It was, yeah. Okay. So from that, then we go on. We had 2 more stops. And wow, the next one was Sachs Bridge.
Sachs Bridge, very well.
That was that was a thoroughfare back and forth for troop movement, both on the battlefield and as the Confederates retreated. So known for high level paranormal investigation activities. Steve and Carrie and Emma put out all their toys.
And Carrie was talking about a personal experience that she had.
So we're standing in a circle. Aubrey's to my right.
Left.
To my left. I'm photographing.
No,
you have the camera.
Yes.
I'm to your right. She's to my left. Carrie, and then Dylan and Danielle.
And Carrie is referring to a personal experience she had where there was a horse that was known that was killed in that area, euthanized, unfortunately. 2 children had drowned. And she's talking about this experience that she had, and so she heard a chuffing of a horse.
Yeah,
in her ears, like a chuff.
Uh-huh.
And as she's talking about it, she's like, and I just felt like a horse walk by me. She's like, I could hear the hooves.
Yeah.
And as she's saying that, I have the IR camera pointed at her, and as she moved her hands like this, you see a mist come towards me, go through you, come towards me. Yeah. I caught that immediately. And I didn't say anything because I was like, I got to let everybody keep talking. And then afterwards, when we started to break off, I was like, oh, yeah, I got something.
Yeah. And so, promise we will get it to you, Carrie. Amazing capture. She was blown away with Aubrey and Dylan and Danielle decided to go to the hanging tree.
Yeah, I went by myself.
I have a picture of that, but she's walking down.
It's posted. It's up there.
You'll see it on Paranormal PSI. I'm like, well, this may be the last picture I capture of my daughter.
Yeah, the hanging tree is indicative of it's associated with a woman that was there for marrying a Native American man.
Yeah, and there's also known to be a negative entity. I was like, you know what? I'm good here. I'm going to hang out with Steve. And I had my paranormal stuff up.
Yeah.
So as Aubrey's off going to the hanging tree, I am hanging out and I have my millimeter and Steve's about 10 yards in front of me and he's communicating with the spirit through the spirit box. And the next thing I know, I could feel an energy come up to me. And it's kind of like the Matrix when they do that. And I have the millimeter and I'm looking at it, it's like 0.1. 88. 256. Like it is like registering off the hook.
Yeah.
I could see a little boy next to me, blonde hair, brown eyes, and he's telling me about the horse and the carriage and here, 2 children that died, he was one of them. But he was known for at the Eisenhower Bridge to communicate with them there. So I'm having this paranormal experience by myself on the bridge. It was truly, truly amazing. I took some pictures. There was a field hospital. We walked down the walkway there, took some pictures. Didn't capture a whole lot there, but truly what Aubrey captured, amazing, amazing. Took some Polaroids. You'll see those up because we did capture something through one of those. And then the next stop was
Eisenhower, right?
was about 2 minutes away by car. Scary getting there.
Very scary.
Very, very dark. So glad we had the lamp. It turns red. Gives a little woo factor, but it's not obtrusive. You can still see spirit. And that's why I like it that it turns red. We set up there.
Heard church bells, phantom church bells. Yeah, there's, yeah.
So there was no church. And then Danielle, Dylan, and Aubrey decide to walk down the path.
And Carrie joined us too. We just kept walking. EMFs went off a lot. And it seemed as though it happened when we were talking about our own personal experiences and not paying attention to our surroundings around us. And that's when activity started.
Yeah, I was wondering, where were you headed? Just down the trail?
Just down the trail.
Because there's a river.
That's where they hear phantom hoof.
Yes.
Hoof from the horses. That's where 2 children drowned.
Yeah.
That's where that happened specifically.
Yeah.
A lot of experiences happened on that bridge as well.
Yes.
Again, we had special access.
Yeah, exactly, because we were with a private party. So the death bell going off, conversations back and forth with spirit, intelligent spirit. Like, we got the name Benjamin or the Ovilus for the little boy. He talked about the horse and carriage. Like, these words are coming through. We're not, in any way tainting the environment.
Yeah.
Heavier feeling there for me than at Sachs Bridge.
Yeah.
Just energetically speaking. And again, remember, anytime there's water, that is a magnet for increased activity.
Flow of energy.
Yes, the flow of energy. So what was interesting is when you came back, the 3 of you, remember the...
Oh, yeah. So we're walking, and I heard a clicking sound as we're walking back. And I wasn't the only one. Dylan heard it, too. And it sounded like somebody cocking the gun back.
Cocking the gun
a
back.
musket. And we all heard it. And I was like, no way. That's okay. We're going to keep walking.
We're walking.
I'm hoping that's spirit and a residual and not an actual person. Yeah, hearing that, we heard that several times.
Yes.
Clicking of a gun.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. When you guys came back and you were all talking about that, you were pretty psyched. We spent over 3 hours on this investigation. We had access right next to the field because, we respect, even though Copes Hill, the gate was open, we kind of shimmy to that. We didn't. And just, they were wonderful with the equipment they brought. People were so open for our findings. Truly, Gettysburg did not disappoint us.
And it was great to be around like-minded people. Like
yeah,
people who are open to it, I should say. Not like-minded, but who are open.
But here's the thing. They were trying to debunk everything that was happening.
Yeah.
And that, the science inside of me really enjoys that. Like, this can't really be, like, there's got to be an explainable reason.
Yeah.
Could not come up with it for the cannonballs. Could not come up with it for the cat ball that went down the edge, came back, and then halfway. Could not come up with it for the smell of sulfur.
Yeah.
Could not come up with it with people playing with my hair.
I was like, are you playing? My hair got tugged on one of the bridges.
Yes.
I definitely.
And just that feeling of knowing, everybody, you all could be a paranormal investigator. You've had the hair go up on your neck. You've felt the tingling, kind of like, I equate it to licking a 9-volt battery. That, that tingling feeling. So, if you've ever experienced that, you've had an experience with a ghost, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about as we wrap up Gettysburg?
Gettysburg did not disappoint. I would love to go back. The history there is just never ending, and the spirits there definitely don't rest.
No, active. So thank you, everybody at Gettysburg. Thank you, everybody who gave us tours.
Yes.
And shout out to Gettysburg Paranormal for giving us some hot spots to see.
Yeah.
And again, Paranormal PSI on Instagram.
Yep.
If you've got a place you want us to investigate, come us, and we'd be more than happy to come and do it. And as always, keep chatting with your angels because they can hear you.
Hi, everybody. Today's episode on Mediumship Moments was brought to you by Erica Cosgrove. Now, she is a realtor, she's a broker, and a salesperson at Innovate Realty. That's in Mullica Hill, New Jersey. So, whether you're looking to buy or sell or even invest in real estate in the South Jersey area, Erica's the person you should call. And how you can get in contact with her is give her a ring at 856-630-0748. That's 856-630-0748, Erica Cosgrove. And let her know Kym Durham sent you.